All right, this is video 2. For this one, if you look at your paper, we are also going to be using leather hard clay and underglaze, but the difference this time is that we are going to be carving into our tile. So first thing that you're going to do is with your second tile, you are going to glaze it with the 3 layers of underglaze, just like you did last time. You want to leave the one that you did before on the video 1 square so that you have these kind of in a row. So with your second one, you'll paint it the 3 times in different directions so that you get the even coat. You could even switch with another table if you wanted to get a different color, or ask me and I'll give you a different color. But this time we are going to be carving into it, and that term is known as Sgraffito. So the tools that you are going to need to apply Sgraffito, or the art of scratching into the clay, you're going to need these loop tools. So these can be found in your bin that sits at your table. I have a whole bunch of different sizes. These with the double end, they have rounded sides and they have ones with edges. There's also these really tiny ones that are good for small details. And I also like this tool right here. It is good for scratching. Some of them have a knife at this end, but it has fallen off of this one. So for Sgraffito, what you are going to be doing is carving some sort of design that you might like into your piece of leather hard clay. When you do Sgraffito, you really want to use leather hard clay. If it's too soft, it could really damage your project. If it is too dry, it could also damage your project, but instead of sinking like it would in plastic clay, when it is bone dry, you're going to create a lot of dust, which isn't great for breathing. You also risk the chance of snapping something off of your project. So leather hard clay is the best option that you have for Sgraffito. It really gives it a cool effect if you add the underglaze onto it first, and then you go back and you glaze over top of it. You could also try to carve it first and then put the glaze on top of it and see what happens that way. We're going to do this with the underglaze. So you can use any of these tools to carve away some sort of design. You could try different patterns. So all I did was take my wire tool and I made like a little triangle. And I could do that the whole way down. Now the thing about Sgraffito is that once you carve it, it is gone. You cannot reattach anything that you carve away from your project. So you're definitely going to want to have a plan before you start doing this. So this is the design I've got going right now. So I tried this tiny tool, and I'm going to try a bunch of these loop tools to see what different kinds of effects that I can get. So if you have some sort of plan for one of your projects, now would be a good time to test it out. So for this step, I invite you to try all the different kinds of loop tools and see which one's your favorite. I don't like this one because I didn't have very much control. But you could have your very own preference. Like I said, I really like this guy right here because it really gives me some fine details. Okay, so this is Sgraffito.